Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy stories about hidden treasure, rare coins, and history hiding in plain sight, this is the place for you. Now imagine this. You're sorting through an old drawer. Maybe it's your late father's toolbox, a box from your military days, or just a forgotten coin jar tucked away for years. You pull out a tiny bronze coin. Faded, simple, barely bigger than your thumbnail. You turn it over. It says 1 cent. The date? 1975. Country? South Africa. You smile. Just a penny, right? Worthless. Or is it? What if I told you that little coin might be worth a small fortune? No joke. In fact, there's a version of that 1975 South African 1 cent coin that some claim is worth up to $3 million. Not 300, not 3,000, but 3 million. You might be sitting on something bigger than you ever imagined. Let's take a step back. The 1970s were a turbulent time in South Africa. Political change was brewing. The world was shifting. And while these coins were minted in large numbers, only a few were ever preserved in perfect condition. Even fewer might contain tiny minting errors or rare qualities invisible to the untrained eye. But collectors, real collectors, they notice. And they're willing to pay, sometimes beyond belief. This coin is made of bronze, roughly 3 grams in weight, modest in appearance. On one side, 2 Cape sparrows perched together, delicate and proud. On the other side, the country's name and the year of minting, 1975. It's not flashy. It's not shiny gold or sparkling silver. But what makes it special isn't just the metal. It's the mystery. See, over 60 million of these coins were minted. Most were used, scratched, dented, spent, lost. Time wore them down. People ignored them. And yet, in the middle of all those coins, there are whispers of a few, just a few, that were never meant to be seen. Maybe a test run, maybe a prototype, maybe struck in error or using a different alloy or under unusual pressure. And when one of those surfaces, the world pays attention. The value of a coin comes from more than its age. It comes from condition, rarity, story, and collector demand. If your coin has never been in circulation, if it still shines like the day it was made, that's a good sign. If it has sharp, clean edges, and the images and letters are crisp, even better. But if your coin has something else, a misprint, a double stamp, a metal inconsistency, now you're in a different league. Coin grading professionals look at every tiny detail under magnification. One extra mark, one missing detail, one odd coloration could mean everything. And collectors, especially older ones with experience and deep pockets, will fight for those once-in-a-lifetime pieces. For them, it's not just about owning the coin. It's about owning a piece of history that no one else has. And sometimes, they're willing to pay millions for that privilege. This is where it gets truly interesting. Stories have surfaced about one version of the 1975 South African 1 center coin, a flawless, uncirculated specimen with a rare anomaly that's been valued at up to $3 million. That's right, 3 million. It's hard to believe, but in the world of numismatics, that kind of valuation isn't unheard of, especially when the right coin meets the right collector at the right time. Now, before you run to your drawer and dig through every old coin you own, take a breath. The chances are slim, yes, but not impossible. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Maybe you picked it up as change decades ago and tossed it in a jar. Maybe your grandfather handed it to you without a second thought. Maybe it's been sitting in your garage, attic, or desk for 40 years, waiting for someone to realize what it really is. And let's be honest, for many of us in this stage of life, it's not just about the money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the connection to the past, the chance to tell your grandchildren you found something incredible, something no one else had. That's the real treasure. That if you think you've got one of these coins, there are a few simple things you should do. First, don't clean it. That can destroy value instantly. Second, handle it carefully, preferably with gloves. Third, examine it closely with a magnifying glass or a loupe. Look for any unusual features, strange marks, misaligned text, unexpected weight, or color. And finally, if you believe it's special, take it to a professional coin grader. They can tell you what you have and what it might be worth. There are people who spend their lives hunting for coins like this. They visit estate sales, auctions, yard sales, pawn shops, hoping to find that one overlooked gem. But sometimes, the greatest finds don't come from out there. Sometimes, they come from your own home, your own history. You just have to take a closer look. So next time you're cleaning out an old drawer or flipping through your change, remember this story. Don't dismiss that dusty little coin too quickly. What looks like a penny might just be a piece of a forgotten fortune. All it takes is one coin, one moment, one discovery. And now, as promised, here's the number that's shocked collectors, dealers, and treasure hunters alike. One rare version of the 1975 South African one-center coin has been rumored and even valued at up to $3 million. That's not fantasy. That's the power of rarity, condition, and timing. So check your drawers. Look through your old boxes. You never know. That tiny coin from decades ago could be your golden ticket.